The maiden Karisimbi marries the king of the underworld. Once upon a time in Rwanda, there was a king who had only one daughter named Karisimbi. She lived in the royal courtyard with 8 other maidens. Her mother had forbidden her to leave the compound or go outside with the other girls. People in the kingdom longed to see her because she was exceptionally beautiful, but they never managed to because she never went out. One day, the maiden she lived with said to her, "Come with us to gather sticks and enjoy the sunshine." At first, she refused, saying, "My mother forbade me to go outside." They kept persuading her, and eventually she gave in. Early one morning, they set off together. When they arrived at the place where they were to gather sticks, they told Karisimbi, "You don't know how to gather sticks, so sit here and guard our walking sticks while we collect them. We'll come back, and then we can wash ourselves, sing and chat before returning home at dusk." After the others left and started gathering sticks, Karisimbi began sinking into the ground. She called for help, screaming, "Help me! The ground is swallowing me." The girls came running, but by the time they reached her, her legs were already swallowed. They tried to pull her out by her arms, but the rest of her body sank into the ground, and she disappeared entirely. The girls panicked, screamed for help, and rushed back to the village to report what had happened. When they told the king, Karisimbi's father, how she had sunk into the ground and their attempts to save her had failed, he was shocked and speechless. After some time, he accepted the situation, saying, "She must have been chosen by the gods of Rwanda to be a messenger in the underworld." Karisimbi found herself in the underworld, where she met the king of the underworld, who lived inside the body of a giant snake. The king emerged from the snake's body and greeted her. They spent the night talking, but at dawn he returned to the snake's body. This became their routine. He would emerge at night to spend time with Karisimbi and return to the snake's body at dawn. Eventually, they got used to each other, and the king married her. They lived together at night, but stayed apart during the day. Over time, they had 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter. One day, the maidens who had been with Karisimbi returned to the place where she had disappeared to gather sticks and dance. Hearing their voices, Karisimbi sang out from the underworld. Karisimbi was taken by the snake of Kabugondo, its eye as red as coral, its teeth white like pearls, adorned with a black necklace resembling millet stalks. The girls recognized her voice and rushed back to tell her father, the king. They reported that they had heard someone in the underworld saying she was taken by the snake of Kabugondo, and they believed it was Karisimbi. The king responded, "Perhaps it was her spirit you heard." Karisimbi remained in the underworld and was soon forgotten by many. One day, a heavy rainstorm fell while Karisimbi's children were herding cattle. They sought shelter at home, but found the door locked. They cried out to their mother, but she refused to let them in. They then called for their father, who emerged from the snake's body and let them inside. After they were safe, he tried to return to the snake's body, but Karisimbi held on to him, saying, "You will no longer escape me." The husband threatened, "If you don't let me go, I will turn into a lion and devour you." She replied, "Then I will also turn into a lion and devour you." He continued, "I will become lightning and strike you." She retorted, "Then I will also become lightning and strike you." Finally, she said, "Enough of this. Let's leave the realm of spirits and live like humans." Together, they burned the snake's body, freeing servants and cattle that had been trapped inside. From then on, they lived together like ordinary people. After some time, Karisimbi told her husband, "I miss my home." The king agreed, saying, "You may visit, but return quickly and greet your family on my behalf." Karisimbi, her 3 children, and servants carrying gifts of cattle left for her father's kingdom. She sent the cattle as a dowry to her father with the message, "Here is the bride price for your daughter, Karisimbi." The king of the underworld added, "Tell him that your daughter Karisimbi has become the mediator between our 2 worlds." Karisimbi reunited with her parents and childhood friends. Her children also saw their grandfather's kingdom and basked in its sunlight. Before leaving, Karisimbi left her daughter with her mother, saying, "She will be married here in Rwanda, and her descendants will serve as mediators between the upper and underworlds." Karisimbi and her children returned to the underworld, where they prospered and lived happily ever after.